Katribu, and welcome to another episode of PairFect. I am Dinah Ventura.
And I am Francine Marquez from my neck of the woods in Metro Manila.
Uh-huh. So, Francine, before we introduce our guest for today, I'd like to ask you, what are your thoughts on solar power?
Solar power. I'm actually all for it because it's good for the wallet, saves us on electricity bills, and it's also good for the environment. It's just pure clean energy from the sun.
Yes.
How
Oh,
about you, Dina?
well, I've been seeing a lot of it in the new developments lately, but I don't think I can say I know a lot about it, but I'd love to know more for sure. So, yon, I asked
Yeah.
because
Which
our guest for today is an expert when it comes to building and developing solar powered homes. She's
yeah.
also an iconic woman behind the success of Imperial Group of Companies.
Yes, and she's the president and CEO, as you said, CEO of Imperial Homes and First Property Technology, a PropTech developer. Let us welcome Emma M. Imperial.
How are
Hi,
you?
Emma.
How are
Welcome.
you, beautiful ladies?
Welcome to Perfect. Good to have you at last.
Okay, it's
Yes.
good I can say perfect.
Perfect.
Other people will have very difficult time saying those words, especially the ones from Pampanga, no? Perfect. That's hard. That's hard
To
to
Yeah.
pronounce.
pronounce. Yeah.
It's a joke. So
Yeah.
Anyways, good to have you with us this afternoon kasi I think the topic is very relevant to the times when we're all very um, strongly supporting sustainability in everything we do in our lives now. So, Francine and Emma, let's ask Emma, how's the new year going for you and your business so far?
well, we're very grateful that 2022 started very positive. And we know that that was the time when the Omicron surged, right?
Yes.
But we started with good sales. And by the way, I'm a horse. A horse in a tiger year is good.
Wow,
So
it's very
I'm,
good.
Oh,
I'm kind of lucky, you know.
very.
So yeah. So we have started positive partnership with conglomerates like Aboitiz Land for one of our companies that provide green building resilient technology from Denmark.
Mm.
Mm.
And we're looking at expanding our collaboration with another company which we had already cooperation in Davao, the Mosa land of the Florendo Group.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the most sustainable developer in Mindanao,
Yeah.
and currently we're so busy entertaining mega developers
Mhm.
who are having a little bit of a problem on their housing backlog, you know, because of the pandemic that really slowed down the construction
Yes.
of affordable housing. So I see this year as a recovery.
Mm.
It's a period of also a lot of learnings that we had from the pandemic. We should now set our sights on resolving many challenges with sustainable technologies.
Mhm.
So, I'm a listener of podcasts and many that sometimes I do that in my spare time, even if I don't have much spare time.
Mhm.
But the third was an industrial revolution. Now it's really digitalization and technologies,
I see.
and this revolution is going to be faster than one can imagine. And
Yes.
if companies are not going to be ready, then they're going to be left behind, and they must prepare for this and they should now embrace it.
I agree. Yes, we're
Yeah.
seeing that trend now. Francine is our spaces editor.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She features property developments and everything like that. So
The real estate is among the thriving industries because I guess the major players have been able to deep dive into the digital transformation,
mhm.
and of course, with some projects going on around right now, a lot of the homes and properties are pushing through. I think they've benefited from the build programs as well. But Emma, let me ask you, how did Imperial Homes came about and what was the inspiration behind it? How old is the company?
It's started in 1983. So it's almost four decades ago.
Mm.
So, well, I have a passion for new things. I like to do new things all the time, and I think my vision in creating new things for real estate started with my actually my marriage to my late husband, who was a very good city mayor in Legazpi City in Albay. He was my late husband, who was a mayor and a public servant for 26 years, a non-controversial one.
Yes.
And I I saw the I saw the hardships of the people when we go around, especially the squatters area and all that. And with little capital, because I have a very innovative mind, and then my husband happened to be a you know from a family who owns a lot of land, and he didn't know how to use his land. So I borrowed little money from my parents, and then I started with a few hectares from my husband and developed my first. At that time, it's a socialized housing in Legazpi City in 1983. The one who mentored me was the late Flor Arendine, who was really the one who really made Pag-ibig Fund. He mentored me. And what I did is I saw the need of these houses in the entire Bicol region. So I saturated, in fact, the Bicol region, including Verac and Buanes, which the other big developers would like to go to, because there's very little money that you can make on small provinces, right?
Right.
So I was comfortable with that because my husband was there, and at that time my vision was to really provide housing to the most distant, remotest areas in the Bicol region. So that was like really the thing that I wanted to do, and it was good because I have no choice to expand in the Calabarzon area at the time because I was with my husband.
Right.
So that's how it started, and then it moved on when my husband stopped politics, and that was good. And our vision now changed. We re-engineered the vision. We want to be. In fact, the vision was changed 10 years ago. We want to be the leader in new concept of community development for affordable houses and leisure projects, but with a world-class brand of innovative homes. And very important with us is to be in harmony with Mother Earth, to the service of the Filipino people and the global market. So that's where we were focusing all the time. So the passion continued, and we now created a lot of innovation. It started with building a solar powered community, which gained several awards from IFC, World Bank, Financial Times in London.
Wow.
So we were the first recognized company that delivered the first solar powered community in a bigger way. In fact, in the world, we became the study of IFC, that putting solar on the rooftop of the local low income group really confirmed huge savings for the home buyers, right? So we then had when we launched it, we had huge success. A lot of people were buying our product, and we had difficulty in construction. many problem in the development in our country is because it's due to the lack of construction technology that will really address the 6.7 million housing backlog of the country.
Yeah.
So many of the developers are still using the brick and mortar, and that's not gonna
We're-
help address the backlog, right?
Right.
So that's the reason why we launched the technology from Denmark. The technology from Denmark, it's a speed technology where you know, a Lego type building. They're very famous for that. So we built the first factory in 2017, and we launched the first product together with the solar. That's why we call ourselves the first prop tech developer. And it also created huge success. You can imagine we produce one house a day in the factory. And if you bring it to the site, you can put up the entire superstructure in 4 hours.
Ang galing.
Yeah. So medyo ano na siya, di ba? At that time in 2017, we were much, much ahead. But guess what? Denmark is 10 years ahead during that time. So we're really
Catching up.
really backwards, right? We're really backwards in terms of technology. So what happened was we created that and launched in 2018, and a lot of developers were interested. And then we integrated the sustainable and resilient. Why resilient? The Danish technology is really a technology that is 20 times stronger than hollow blocks. So it provides resiliency. And I'd like to inform everyone that our company is again the model for the world for the Building Resilience Index of IFC for affordable housing. We are the first who incorporated resilient technology for the affordable housing income group. So what does it mean? When you use the product, you have nearly zero repair on the wall, on the superstructure. So the wall or the house can last 100 years. So it's something that has never been done. It uses a material which is called high performance concrete, which is really used for roads and bridges, and we were able to use it for the houses.
Wow.
So, yeah, as we integrated those two technologies, yung prop tech pumapasok na yan in my mind, and I was saying, what's lacking here? What's lacking here is really how do we fast track the developers in bringing their mortgages to the banks in a digital way? How do we transfer the title with the RD and the BIRPIM in a digital way? Because they're all interconnected, Even if you build fast, you build in 4 hours or 1 day, and it takes you 4 months to get your money. Because, at this point, you still deliver the folders to the banks physically, whereas you can download it now in the internet or Google. So what happened is because of this experience, together with my other directors, I started the PropTech Consortium of the Philippines, and the PropTech Consortium of the Philippines is now have founding directors are the likes of Ortiz Luis, and then Amor Maclang, and then Jopin Romero, Ron Hose of Coin.ph, Carrie Lagdameo, Kathy Saldana, and Sylvester. So, okay, I can't remember. So anyway, if you look at if you look at our website, you see that the fantastic industry leaders there who joined us, together with all the founding organizations of the country that's related to real estate. So to name a few, our founding organizations, SHEDA, OSHTA, PISEA, NREA, FinTech, Bankers Association of the Philippines, ASEP, and PRA, Philippine Retailers Association, with Rose Bosco. Rose is also part of our, also founding director. So we're now doing a lot of things with technologies leaders, like digital leaders, like Multisys, Brancas.
Yeah.
So it's like a partnership between the real estate and all the other industries that is related to the real estate, together with the digital guys. That's in essence is
So that's like this whole big group that's taking property development into a whole new level. That is my reading, right?
That's right. It's like the whole ecosystem is going to be addressed by digitalization.
Yes, which leads me to my question, like, is this the way that the industry and your business along with it evolved during this pandemic? Did you move towards that more strongly, or was it something that you already started before?
I think the pandemic, when it came, because we're already property technology developer, and that's what we've been doing before.
Yes.
The pandemic was very relevant. Our product for the pandemic became more relevant. And, during the pandemic, people realized that the savings from home by using solar is really, really a big thing for them. Because everybody was forced to work from home. And they didn't realize these things because before they were used to work in the offices. So when they started working from home, there was one buyer who had a post that 15 pesos, should I still pay for this for 2 months? Because there was a time when Meralco allowed us to pay installment, right? If you have a bill, you pay 2 months. And so he got a bill of 15 pesos and he says, hey, should I still pay for this for 2 months? And it became viral. And it, of course, it helped our sales, but it generally confirmed that when you use solar together with your house and you get a mortgage, you now can save up to 70% on your electrical bill.
Wow, major. That's significant.
Major. So that's one. The other one is convey technology. Became relevant too because with a brick and mortar or hollow blocks, you would need some 10 people in 45 days to install one house, right? Here, convey technology need 3 people to install one house in 4 hours. So that is also another major impact of what we did because the pandemic affected social distancing. And with the Connovate, we were able to address protocols and we were able to continue to build without really affecting our workers. Right? So again, relevance, Connovate, one of the features of the product, it has zero permeability. That means you see our wall, it's like a glass. You don't have to do, plastering. And when it's like that, it has no molds. And when there's no molds, that means there's no bacteria, right?
Right.
It does not promote bacteria, which we really, during the pandemic, are so scared of. So, parang naging relevant lang siya. Pag ginamit mo yung mga walls rin na to, ano siya, kasi 14,000 PSI, whereas the regular hollow block, 700 PSI. No? So if you think about it, there is the savings on the repair is so huge against the hollow block systems. And the impact of the other thing that's a good impact to us is we saw millennials buying our product, and this is like a realization which I share with everyone, even with the IFC. Every time they ask me to speak, 70% are millennials. Before, developers are having a hard time getting millennials to buy their product because millennials could not get an approval from the bank. Why? Because what they do is they keep on going from one place to the other or changing jobs, right? So during the time of the COVID, they're forced to stay home, and instead of buying gadgets like phones or car and all that, they can't do anything. No, so they started looking at what they can, and guess what? The preference of sustainable and resilient homes became one of their major preference. And so I think the awareness is there. Like the millennials, the young people,
Yes,
they like protection on the environment.
because that's gonna be their world.
It's gonna be the world. We're out, right? We're
Yeah.
not gonna share it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
ano yan? So, ang amin is to increase we're really more on macro solution. So when there was a COVID first time na nag-lockdown, we have a group of I told you a while ago before we started, we have a group of very nice women leaders who help each other, And when the first day we got locked down, I got a call from Myla Villanueva. She owns MDI. It's a very big cloud computing company. And said, "How are you holding, Emma?" I said, "I don't know. I mean, I said, no. Let's connect you." So she was a chair or owner of this 1,000 plus employees, and she let me go through a 1 hour lecture with her, the two of us.
Wow.
Right? So that was Friday. The lockdown was going to be Monday. Saturday, she was guiding me, and she said, "Let's put everyone on board. I connect you, your people connect." And guess what? Monday, we were already interconnected.
Wow.
So we are the first developer that was so we got connected right away. And then nagfollow yung Lamudi. Lamudi shared their technology on selling. So yung ganon, we're lucky because first movers gets also the first the first option to maybe to have these kinds of offer from people who see that you're really working hard to change your way of doing things. Wow.
Yeah. Lucky, and it's a good thing that you have that group helping each other out. It's a
we have
great thing,
nice group.
diba?
Yeah, we have a nice group.
Emma, I want to ask, with the community that you built, what have been the challenges so far of building not just a home, but a series of homes? I mean, they say it takes a village to build a home and family, people who will live in it. What are some of the challenges and maybe some of the breakthroughs that you also made for Imperial Homes?
I had
Powered community.
Yeah, I had a lot of challenges on the solar powered homes because a lot of doubting Thomases came in, and I always share this to entrepreneurs, the young ones, and I say, if you have a vision, just continue with it, and if you believe in it, just ignore all the negative comments. And that was 11 years ago, prior to my my launch, or maybe it's already 2011. I just started with 50 watts. 50 watts, can you imagine? That's nothing. You can see megawatts now, right?
Yeah.
But my thinking in 2011 is that uh, I go to European countries and they use solar, and here we are. We have so much sun, and I was thinking, I don't think I will ever go wrong if I pursue this.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And so I pursued it. In fact, I even was almost going to put up a factory here with a Danish partner. But instead, I just bought the first hundreds of solar on my initial 50 watts with acid battery, which is a no-no now. Acid is a no-no now, with a Belgian friend. And the factory didn't push through because the IFC guys who I've been working with says, Emma, don't compete with China. Instead you just buy from them, or you just buy. You don't put a 20 megawatt factory just for against a gigawatt factory in China. They'll kill you. So I then just work with. So the Doubting Thomases is there, and then I still put the 50 watts. And I was at one time I was asked by this person and said, Emma, would you like to meet the Belgian global developers? I said, sure, and they said, and then I told him about my concept that, you don't have to put solar on the vacant land, because if we have 6.7 million housing backlog and everyone puts solar on that 6.7 million, that's going to be gigawatt. No, that's going to be gigawatt. And then he's a veteran. He did about 750 megawatt all over the world at that time. At that time, 2014, and he says, "Okay, let's sign up." So we partnered. I provided all the know-how, and he provided for the housing. He provided know-how for solar, and that's how the first solar-powered community evolved. And even at that time, people were laughing at me, right? How will that work? Solar is expensive, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't know I had a plan. That Pag-ibig Fund, who gave us a break, now includes solar in the houses. So instead of, because mahal din yan eh. Bibilin mo yan, ang pinakamura, 270, it's 270 or 300. Depending on the size, right? So an affordable housing buyer cannot really buy that immediately, cannot pay cash for that. Even the mid-income housing, the earner cannot also afford that. So I worked with Pag-ibig Fund for 2 years, trying to teach them on how to appraise solar, how convince them on what solar can do, blah, blah, blah. So finally, lo and behold, May 2015, they approved it. So, for the listeners, Pag-ibig Fund now approves houses with solar.
Okay.
And even members now can apply solar. They even buy solar using, as long as you can put it in your house and you still have mortgage with them, then you can just add the solar for your house. So it was a big step, because if there is no funding, it can never happen. The solar-powered mass housing community can never happen. So what happened next? What happened next is we could not build the houses. Because the technology is still brick and mortar, so pumasok na yung Ponovate technology.
Okay.
Currently, the solar powered now is transforming into a solar powered net metered community. What does it mean? It means that savings of buyers who will put solar can now be doubled
Mhm.
because you can now sell your excess
Mhm.
and then use what you only can use. So we did so much already for this. So buyers are now benefiting from what is going on,
Mhm.
and financing institutions now are taking it out. Dati wala, there's nobody who's doing that.
Yeah.
And the big news now, and I want to share this. It's a first-hand news, is that because of PropTech,
Mhm.
we were able to sign a memorandum of understanding with um, Department of Energy and Department of DSUD, the Housing,
Mhm.
Urban and Development,
Mhm.
that solar-powered resilient communities is now going to be incentivized.
Wow.
Mhm.
Good
Now,
news.
POI is coming in, and in fact, this week we have FGD's focus group discussion uh, with um, with DOE and all the top housing developers officers, together with DSUD, you know, telling us what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And this has been my dream. It's like everybody must have it because it's there. I mean, why
Yeah.
can't a Filipino not have that kind of savings, right?
Mhm. Right.
So that's the big news.
Well.
And the other news now is that the Pag-ibig Fund and the Bankers Association of the Philippines, which is a member of PropTech, is now open to discussion. We're opening it on Thursday, actually, we're very busy.
Mhm.
Discussion on digitalization,
Mhm.
digitizing the banks,
Mhm.
Pag-ibig Fund, and then National Homes, together with the developers. So that is going to be uh,
Huge.
our big work. Actually,
It's
I'm in the forefront of this. So
wow.
It's very exciting, Emma, and
yeah,
it's
it's a
good
lot
to
of
talk
work.
about the future.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
a lot of work, but then
Sustainability, yes. Yeah, we'd love to talk some more about the future of housing led by Imperial Homes with Miss Emma Imperial at the end, but let's pause for a break and we'll be back.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Si Harry Roque ang pinakamagaling na spokesman, kaya inggit sa kanya ang oposisyon.
Tama lang na ipinaglaban ko ang balik trabaho para bumalik ang kita ng mga nagtatrabaho at naghahanap buhay. Hindi pwedeng magutom ang pamilya. Dapat lang po ingat buhay para sa hanap buhay. Basta trabaho, kita at hanap buhay ang nakataya. Nasa harap niyo po ako.
Ibigay natin ang tudong suporta kay Harry.
Be updated sa news and happenings katribu. Hatid ng Daily Tribune sa inyo ang mga balitang napapanahon sa loob at labas ng bansa. Kami na ang bahala sa paghahatid sa inyo ng mga latest and reliable news. We got you covered sa programang Tribune News on Q. Mapapanood mula umaga hanggang gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Welcome back to PairFect. Still with us is President and CEO of Imperial Homes and PropTech, Emma Imperial. Welcome back.
hi.
Welcome back.
I think I talk a lot, no? It's like, so I'm sorry, but that's the way I explain everything. Dapat you can
It's
ask me.
also exciting. I mean, there's something to look forward to after the pandemic. The way we live, the way we're imagining our lifestyle, it's all going to be sustainable.
I was thinking over the break that a lot of things have happened in the industry, in the solar power community of businesses. But I think a lot of people still have some questions about the technology. And one of the most frequently asked by homeowners in regard to solar power is, Can it really power an entire house?
Yeah. Well, the solar solution that we offer is actually of different kinds. We have the 600 watts grid tied. This is for the real socialized housing. So even with the socialized housing, we provide them already solar. I think we're the only one that does that. And then we have another one, which is a 1.2 kilowatt. It's it's double. And the other one, which is 2.4 kilowatt, another double, because it's going to be net metered. No? So if you say, if you all say grid tied, when it's grid tied, it only functions during daytime. And we only use battery on areas where there are brownouts. So ang usual pag may battery, they always store the excess during the daytime, and in the evening, that's when you start using your battery for your lights, electric fans, and that's about maybe 5 hours of TV usage. Now, so there's like everything can be power up with that 1.2 and the 2.4 kilowatt grid tied. You can power up TV, light, electric fan, washing machine, iron, and even 1 horsepower aircon daytime. So when you start doubling it, like the 1.2 kilowatt solar solutions to a 2.4, that would mean you will have excess, right? So that's when the net meter will come in. So currently we're developing all our communities on areas with no brownout for a net metered community. Meaning, if you buy from us, your entire roof is going to be filled with solar. And what it does, it doubles your savings. So we have like a 550 unit solar net metered in 13. It's all sold out. The amount of savings in the next 25 years is a staggering 1.16 billion savings for the community in 25 years. So that's the thing that they will save. And it depends on the usage. And sometimes it's really, really amazing how Filipinos can innovate on how much more they can use and make the solar work from them. A lot in our experiences, we continuously get data from our communities. Many of our women who are in that community starts to come up with their own businesses. So they create home cooking, because lesser, they use less electricity, and they do catering. They make food and then they deliver to factories. So it's no longer uncommon to hear a lot of our buyers having their livelihood inside. So that's a very good additional benefit for our home buyers, aside from being powered up, right? It powers up everything. You can sell to the grid, at the same time you can make business. Yeah.
So it's a lot of things can happen with an investment, the right investment.
Yeah, and probably, Dina, how do you go through the daily living if you live in a solar-powered home?
My house is solar powered, and I used to, I used to have 18,000 every month.
Wow.
Now I pay 3,000. I have a pool, so it uses like it
Emma,
cleans.
is it hard to transition to a solar powered home? I mean, what tips can you give our viewers who are planning to invest in a property and or trying to do something with their homes right now?
Do you change your electrical sockets or
No, no, no.
appliance?
No, you
I have
don't.
no idea.
No, they what we do, we have a see the way we were able to innovate is to create companies that will create that innovation. So we had to put up a solar company. We are a developer, real estate. We had to put up a solar company in order to, to prove our business model. We have to put up a factory for the building technology to prove our business model. So so our solar company, it's called Infinity Imperial Solar Solution. They will just get through the internet how much is your bill, and then they're gonna Google your roof, right? And they see this goes with bigger houses like here in Alabama. So they Google your roof and they see how much space your roof is, and they're gonna check the orientation, which side is the clear part where it will get more sun. The north side doesn't get sun, so you're left with south, east, and west. So then they will now ask you to provide your electric bill per month, and from there they will compute how much solar you wanna put inside. If you want a zero payment, then you will have to put a lot, right? But if you want to say just deduct a little bit, maybe save 70%, then depends on your budget. So with the installation, there's no problem because they just do installation outside.
I see.
They just connect, and then if you want a net meter, then that's the other part that is because we need to apply. They need to apply with Meralco. In the past, that was very difficult. If you apply before, it will take you a year. And when we were trying to do this in our little projects, lalo pa, it was like my home. Let's say our houses is 2 million or 2.5 million, and yet the buyers would be charged 17,000 just to apply for net meter, and then apply. We don't know how long, but the DOE, the ERC with Chair Agnes de Vanadera, was also a woman leader, was very, very passionate. She felt our passion, so she made it happen. That if it's a affordable housing community and the houses are selling for 3 million, you don't have to pay anything for the DIS, which is the environmental impact study. So we made that happen together with the other developers. So before, it has to be individual application. Now, no, it's only one. The developer can apply.
Wow, that's convenient.
A lot of things to look forward to.
Everything depends on a passionate group of people to make it happen.
I agree. I was gonna ask, because I'm listening to you, I'm amazed at all the developments that you've been able to pioneer in this industry. And I was wondering if you could tell us, what did it take to get to where you are now? Because I'm sure it wasn't that easy starting up a company on solar power, which wasn't really, it's not common knowledge at that time. And even until now, I think we still need a lot of education on that. What did it take from you as a woman leader?
Well, I wanted really. First of all, I like to do new things all the time. I keep on thinking of new things, new ideas, and I'm very lucky that we have our team, a very fantastic team of millennial officers in my company that also embrace that passion and innovative thinking. And my thinking always is that when there is a lot of demand and there's no supply, and nobody's doing it, then you've got to do it, because that's gonna be where the innovation is going to really fly.
Right.
So housing is really ripe for innovation.
Yes, agreed.
So and then the little supply, and no one is addressing the issue in a magnitude that can really solve the problem.
Yes.
I went through rough road. There was like a lot of doubting promises, and they go, "Oh, you're just putting solar just to make your house beautiful, or it's just a decorative. It's never going to work, right?" And then also being a woman in a man's world, it's like, you just be sneered at, right? I say, there was one instant, and I could not forget it. And he says, why are you telling me that? I know more than you. Oh, okay. That's, these are the sometimes I don't want to create barrier between the men and women, but sometimes when you're trying to come up with bright ideas, unless you really deeply believe in it, these kinds of comments can really
Yeah.
destroy you, right?
Right.
But it does not with me.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I always say that entrepreneurs, especially for women, please, if you believe in something, don't let anybody tell you that it's not correct. Just keep on doing it. So I travel a lot, and I see a lot of these kinds of technologies going. And I'm basically an economist. I really try to walk my talk. Like, I've been doing the sustainable before. So, and this resiliency that we did, it was never thought of by even IFC and World Bank that it could happen for the affordable housing market. Why? Because how will they know? How would anyone know that a 14,000 psi? It's a wall that is so strong that can really prevent the very tough on earthquake, fire,
Wow.
and typhoon, can be done for affordable housing. I mean, for houses which is worth 2 million, 2.5, 3 million.
Yeah.
Even the rich people do not have it. But what happened to me? I always focus on serving. My innovations always focus on serving the greater number of people. That it's useless to just focus on
few.
one little segment of the market. In fact, our vision is global market, and right now we have lots of inquiry from other countries in Southeast Asia. I just can't take all of it because my company is growing so fast. Because there's
I
lots.
can imagine.
So yun, I really work with my team. I let them do things. I train them to just go forward and think and innovate. I welcome them in creating research and development. Oh my God, we have so much of them, and I love the guys. I love these millennials when they come up and say, "This is what we can do." New product. These are new products. So I encourage it for these millennials, and they're so happy with their jobs. Wow, that's what's nice.
Yeah.
Our company is like 75 to 80% millennials. We're able to attract the young ones.
Oh, because it's new technology and room for creativity. Diba?
Also sustainable. I tell you, sustainability is deep in their hearts.
It's good to know.
Future's looking bright.
Right. Francine,
Kids are all right.
Francine, let's play a photo game.
Yes,
Let's
with
get to know
Emma.
Emma some more.
What's the
Yeah,
photo?
we drawn some pictures on your social media account. And it's just a simple game where we ask you to caption the photo that we're going to show you.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, so
Here we go, the first one.
Oh yeah. That's our signing with the Mosalang Kari Lagdameo in Davao.
Oh.
So that was our, the day we signed that we're going to supply them with Conovate for their middle housing market.
Okay.
And they're very happy with it.
Okay.
So
Oh, this one.
this one, wait, can't see.
Signing also, I suppose.
Signing, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the signing of our partnership with the landowner in Padre Garcia. We have a project of solar powered Tatag Imperial Homes in Padre Garcia and Batangas.
Okay.
And I'm so sad. June passed away because of the
Oh.
COVID.
Oh, sorry
He didn't
to hear that.
even see the start of the development there. We're doing very well in Padre Garcia now.
Okay.
This one is Mike de Guzman. Mike is the president of PISEA. It's the Philippine Solar Storage Energy Association, and they're part of the PropTech Consortium of the Philippines. So that's Mike. This one is this is the net metering launch with Chair Agnes de Banadera, and it was the time that we were turning over one unit that has been net metered by Meralco. I mean, that was the first for a low-income home.
Nice.
So it was like, whoa, that was the start of Meralco loosening up for the affordable housing market. Oh, these are one of the group of women that I'm telling you about. That's Marifet Mora and Marge. Marge Mulan is my classmate in STC. She's also one of the women leaders that are promoting culture. Marifet, you know Marifet. Marifet is like the one who was really the maker of Philippines as the global center for call center in the world. She was the mover behind that, and the reason for Marife being that way was her love for the country.
Okay.
And that's where we click. That's why Marife is like my really, really best friend.
Soul sister.
Soul sister. I mean, she just encourages me, and she boosts me up even. So it's nice to have women like this around.
Yes, agree.
So who's it? Oh, this is a Rose Bosch Kong. I think this is during and Dennis.
Dennis Uy.
Dennis, the famous Dennis.
Dennis Uy.
Dennis Uy, and then of course Yusek Chongko. I was a keynote speaker in a Manila Times.
Okay.
That is. This is my son. My first time to go out and outside.
During pandemic to?
Yeah, during pandemic.
Oh.
That's grand. I don't know if you've met Dinah.
Grand, no, only Fernand.
Yeah. So Grand is my second son.
Yeah. I think I met both of them when they were still babies. Or I saw them.
Yeah, such nice pictures. And that's us.
Wow.
Another one. That one.
That's when I was in Denmark. You know that my partners in Denmark are the ones that created the Conovate, right? So half of the owner is one of the biggest and most modern panel manufacturer in Denmark. So they're the most advanced.
Wow.
And the other 50% partner is Architima. It's 600 architect firm among Scandinavian countries. So it's a partnership of very strong, innovative companies. And I was so lucky to be their the first partner who created the concept for affordable housing. Because for them, there's no such thing there in Denmark. There's no mass housing. I was the one who created that for them, and I'm now able to have an ownership of the company because of that. So I'm part owner of Conovate Denmark.
Oh, wow,
In the
congrats.
Philippines, Conovate Philippines is a sole subsidiary, a wholly owned subsidiary of Imperial Group of Companies. So we own it.
Ang galing mo talaga, Emma. Okay. Here's another photo, last photo that we're showing today.
I think that was my memory is that was the PNB. They're asking on how I hooked them up with IFC, Angelo Tan, on how to make the study on how to use green mortgages in PNB.
Okay.
And then Wick Veloso now is the president of the Association of the Philippines, Bankers Association. He's
Okay.
part of PropTech, and he's very sustainable. He loves sustainability. He loves technology. So he's really an asset for us. I think all the industry leaders who are our directors and founding members are very excited on what PropTech Consortium is doing. Because it affects a lot of industry. It affects even the suppliers.
Right.
Philippine Retailers Association, boss Rose Ong is there. And she knows that digitalization is so good to be done with the digital guys to interconnect developers and the suppliers, right?
Right.
And then we have ERC as our advisor. We have IFC as our advisor, and Issued as our advisor. I didn't realize that the PropTech Consortium, with my initial PropTech technology, would have that kind of impact and acceptance. It's really amazing how you are able to convince the entire industry that we need to do something already, because it's the private sector
Right.
that can only do it and really make it happen.
Yeah. I see a trend here, Francine, Emma, with you were telling us about your group of women friends, and then helping each other, even though you're from different industries or companies or specialties, and then you come together, and then you have brought that kind of attitude to PropTech, that consortium. So
Yes.
it's a very good thing. It's very inspiring to learn about this afternoon.
Our executive director is AJ Rosero. AJ used to be with it's a Regus. She used
Regus.
to, and she said, Emma, I'm excited to accept this challenge, and so we're working together. And by the way, our president is Sylvester Wong. Sylvester Wong gladly accepted the presidency, and he's the ACOM Asia Pacific head, and he's based in the Philippines. So he's very techy, and then founding director also accepted was David Almirol, multi-sys. I mean,
Technology also.
no, luckily everyone that we reach out to
Accepted.
gladly accept the challenge,
Yes.
because I don't have any hidden agenda. My agenda is, like deliver this backlog with sustainable, resilient, and digitalized home. We can make, I'm studying it, we can make smart homes even for affordable housing. So you're not reacting, huh?
naisip ko na yun eh, parang art card
Found
yun.
it.
Pwede natin gawing art card.
The reaction is just inner astonishment.
Oo nga. Parang I'm thinking, what like persistence and just that
It's just
dogged determination.
passion. It's all there. That's what's making the future happen as far as Imperial and Imperial.
See, it's a challenge when people say you can't do it. And then all of a sudden you get a world recognition. You get an award in London, blah, blah, blah. And then you get, our company was enabled awards for DBP because they gave us a loan. So they got international award in Germany and in Asia Pacific. So to me, if we can do it, I mean, I can't do it alone. It's my people also that are able to do it. So parang nothing is impossible. So what happens is that, we're able to do this. So the conglomerates are so interested. They're asking us to do things. And sometimes we're all, how much can we do? How much can we do? But then we start thinking more and more and more and more. And people approach us, and I have other ideas. Like a woman leader that's very, 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 very active in agriculture, Cherry Atiliano. You know Cherry? She's one fantastic lady. She has done so much innovation in terms of agriculture for the farmers. And she's only 37 years old.
Diba?
And she's a UN ambassador. She's awarded here. She's awarded there. And then she gets all these things. Yeah. But it all boils down to what is she doing? She's helping the farmers.
Yeah.
She's helping the farmers in the provinces.
Yeah, we interviewed her on Spotlight last year. And I was really also quite amazed by what she's done and what she's still planning to do. So it's really about always thinking, and then having that heart to give, diba?
Yeah, it's basically, it has to have that kind of ingredient that you need to do it for other people.
Yes.
Because if you just do it for yourself, the satisfaction stops right here and now. But if you do it for others and you feel others are getting satisfied, and then other people are also happier, and then they are now promulgating it in the entire world, like our models being now shown in different countries, then you get that kind of a better satisfaction. It's no longer the money there. It's not that. And I think it goes down to our people. The organization feels that. That's why I have a lot of millennials. But going back to Cherry, I was challenging Cherry that, I mean, we signed already something together that we are going to turn over with all our affordable housing and Agria IHC design. Parang farm, home, not farm. It's like edible garden for each.
Wow.
So it's all created because of pandemic, because of pandemic. I mean, people are now trying to learn how to make vegetables in their garden. And when I told this to Cherry, I invited her for dinner in the house. I said, Cherry, this is my idea. Why can we do it? I said, I bring you to one of my projects. And when we turn over, it's already there. The buyers are gonna have, tomatoes and all that. And what they have to do is how to just repeat the cycle. And that's nice. I'm gonna do that.
Ready-made garden, vegetable garden.
Edible.
I love that.
For our housing. So it won't cost a lot. It's just gonna be later on TLC, tender loving care of the people there. So if you have solar, you have a solid home, which is last 100 years. You have an edible garden, right? And one more, I will not tell you now because
That's for our next interview.
Oh no, well, it's non-stop thinking and
I
non-stop thinking.
know.
Okay.
But it's always for the masa, you know, for the there.
For the greater good.
Yeah, for the Francine, there's 6.7 million housing backlog, and every year it continues.
Yes.
So if we don't shift our mind with digital technology and also proper technology for building, we will never get there. So kailangan shift tayo ng mind. Mag-shift tayo.
Ayun. I'm convinced na nag-shift agad yung... Anyway, Emma, this is all the time we have. We've loved talking with you this afternoon. And as usual, our Wednesday dose of inspiration, Francine. So thank you very much, Emma, for joining us this afternoon. Can we ask you to give us your parting shot before we end the show?
Okay. I read the book Flux, Flux. It is a book that touches how we can adapt to changes. And due to pandemic and climate change and the threat to humanity, all of us here is responsibilities to really help others to turn these uncertainties into opportunities. So, we're in the real estate are not really technological savvy, but we can all learn.
Yes.
So until now, we're suffering because government agencies are still not being processed digitally, but we are getting there. So we all need to survive because the multiplier effect of what we're going to do is going to give jobs to many Filipinos. So my message to the developers, adopt sustainability and resiliency. It is the future. Embrace digitalization. All your business will grow and we can help uplift the standard of living of all the Filipinos. And for government and other multi-sectoral sectors or multilateral sectors, we must remove inequities by addressing the huge housing backlog with sustainable and resilient homes, given our disaster-prone country. Diba? So, pero to our buyers naman, hey, now that you listen to me, you should only buy and support eco-friendly home with sustainable features because it's a one-step journey to a better and brighter and cleaner future for the next generation.
Wow, thank you.
I agree. And I really believe it's a classic, it's the philosophy that build it well, build it sustainably. I just added those other factors based on my inspiration from Emma, and they shall follow.
Good one, Francine.
Who knew that a little some hectare that you borrowed from your husband would suddenly turn into a big sustainable reality?
That's gonna go global.
It will prepare us for the
It's
future
advanced.
post-pandemic.
And what's nice is that we were because of our innovative ways. We were able to keep almost 500 employees. We didn't touch anyone. Except when someone is really not working. We did not lay off anybody.
Good.
So that really speaks highly of our company because it survived because it's a classic case that sustainability and resiliency and adaptation to digitalization can make a difference during these kinds of pandemic or events. That's the thing that I see.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you very much, Emma. We could talk more and more and more.
Overload ka na ba, Francine?
But all that I'm understanding right now is that the future is now because of what you, Emma, your company, and other like-minded people like you are doing right now. The future is now. Don't wait for things to happen. We act now.
Yeah.
So,
So once again, thank you very much, Emma, for joining us and sharing your story with our viewers this afternoon. It's been a
Yes,
delight to
and-
have you in our show, and we hope to see you in your future ones.
and to our dear Katribu, thank you for watching us today. Watch fresh episodes of PairFect every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and replays of our episode on Tribune Now on YouTube.
I am Dinah Ventura,
And I'm Francine Marquez.
and this has been
This is PairFect.
PairFect.